Plant, could you tell me again why we're at the Coral Highlands at this hour?
For the last time, Sky, we're looking for a cryptid Wiggler Queen to prove to Astera I'm not crazy.
Plant? Where'd the moon go?
I don't know.
What the hell are those lights?
Oh shit. Hello, fellow hunters, and welcome to another Elder Dragon special. Today, we're covering the terror from the depths of the Coral Highlands, Namielle.
It's Namielle.
A CinemaSins counter, eh? Alright then. Let's talk about Namielle's disco early 2010s rave lights. Now, you'd think that it's bioluminescence, but it's actually not. Let's take a look at our real-life counterpart, the comb jelly. Despite how this squishy little fellow looks, it's actually very far related from modern-day jellyfish. Now let's try to put this little guy to Namielle. The comb jelly has little rainbow lights on it too. These are actually little plates called cilia that it uses to feed. Funnily enough, they don't glow. Namielle might use the same fine scales to help him gather up the water, as you can see here. Notice how his wings go down and they scoop up the water. It could be that its scales are using it to pull the water in with an extra little bit of force. Now let's get on to this guy's big bulbous head. If we look at Namielle's head, you can see that his head is more of a rounded shape, just like a hammerhead shark. Hammerhead sharks more have these rounded shapes to look for scallops and other types of stuff. Or it could just be used for seeing at a 3D angle. But since Namielle's eyes are below its head, I have a good theory that it's actually more just for defense and maybe even displays. You see those glowing red lights on the side of its head? It kind of reminds me of the dragonfish. Let me put this little guy right up the screen. Right there. Now, he may look like what nightmares are made of, but the one little scary thing about this little guy is the red light under his eye. You see, red light is really hard to see in the deep ocean. And that's why you'll see a lot of fish and animals colored with red, like an anglerfish or a vampire squid. Now, because light's so hard to see in these low conditions, it uses this little red light glow to help it see through the ocean, almost sort of like a little searchlight. Now, it's going to be invisible to most fish, but to the dragonfish, it can see directly through that light and find its potential prey. So, my theory is Namielle uses this when it hunts in darker areas of the Coral Highlands so it can actually find its prey. Or it could be using it as sort of a lure too to attract them like an anglerfish. Now that I think about it, Clifford's completely red too, mostly. Just imagine Clifford looking at you with his only baby blues before he pounces. Oof. Sounds horrifying. I'd rather fight an Anjanath with only a sword and shield. Keeping on the subject of light, you'll notice Namielle can make himself glow bright blue and green. Now, before, I said that his bioluminescence on his wings was just little scales. But if we can see from even the comb jelly, our little friend, they glow blue or green as bioluminescence. So, I think that we can safely assume that this is actual bioluminescence, since a lot of creatures in the ocean do glow green or blue. Except for a little dragonfish friend who glows red, which, he's special, just like all things from the deep ocean. But with that glow that Namielle gives off, I think it could either be for two things. It's either that flash is like an alarm signal, like smaller fish or plankton would use to sort of ring a dinner bell for bigger fish to say, "Come save me," or it's literally a flashbang. Kind of like this one. Think fast, chuckle nice. For an Elder Dragon, this thing might as well be a Swiss Army knife of Elder Dragons.
But you didn't even cover the electricity part yet.
The what part? Well, clearing that charred part off of me and Sky's armor, that is an amazing segue to talk about Namielle's electricity abilities. Now, electricity is not uncommon in the animal kingdom. Technically, we all have electricity running through you. Just you, me, your dog. Electricity is what helps all of our body parts and everything move. It's what sends neurons a little bit through our brain. Everything runs off a slight charge of electricity. It's just some animals have developed an ability to harness it and use it, just like the electric eel. This electric eel right here uses positive and negative to sort of send out a shock to whatever it needs to. Sometimes it just uses it to communicate. Sometimes it uses it to tell you to get the hell over somewhere. Or they'd use it moreover as a hunting strategy, but some may not use that as a hunting strategy. Just like the electric catfish. That small little thing is able to shock people, even like this grown man right here. Ouch. So, by looking through all of this, we can see that the way that these creatures electrocute people is with these cells. These cells are a little circular and they stack up on each other, and a charge goes through a barrier of like membrane and a little bit of other stuff, keeps the animal insulated so the shock mostly hits us and not them. I like to assume that Melee has this ability in his paws, and that's how we have that big huge shock that always comes around that sets all the water ablaze. Well, more accurately I should say, to a shocking revelation. Now, for how Namielle works in the ecosystem, we can see that Namielle mostly spends its time at night, possibly just going around and hunting. And with the traits that I already listed, we can assume that Namielle uses its red eyes, with red glowy bits on its head, to sort of look for prey. And then finally when it attracts prey, it catches it, closes it in with its wings, and it eats it alive. Kinda like what he was trying to do to me and Sky. Sky? Sky? Oh shit. Well, that might have to be the end of the video, hunters. We'll be right back with another video. That's all for the Monster Hunter Ecologist for today. Come back next time and Sky will give us a great video. If he's, alive. Come on, buddy. Let's get you to a hospital.